ready.
Hi. We're
Hey.
finally here.
Yes.
Last time I asked y'all to be in here, y'all weren't even married yet. Now you are married and have a baby.
That's right. And
It's like a whole life has gone by since I asked y'all.
Life moves fast.
It does. How y'all been?
Good.
Like I don't see y'all like all
Busy.
the time.
Right.
How many times? I think I've seen y'all like 3 times a week, 4 times a week.
It's pretty
Something
much.
like that.
So for those who don't know, introduce yourself if they can't see all the branding all over.
Oh, yeah. I'm Crystal.
And-
this is my husband, Joseph.
Yes.
What's up, Joseph? What's up, Crystal?
We're
And
the
who are
owners
y'all?
of F45 Training Corpus Christi.
What is that?
What is that?
It sounds like is it training dogs? Is it training people? What are y'all doing?
It's a functional fitness studio. So
okay.
the
So
F
the F stands for functional. See, did I know that? Yeah, I knew that.
Yeah, and the 45 is 45 minutes duration of the workout.
Okay, so I know quite a bit about y'all, but there's a couple questions that have been kind of like lingering in my mind. One, and I asked Jess, can I ask this question? She said, yeah. Who was the fat kid growing up that wanted to start a gym? Is that a thing? Wait, neither one of y'all?
I was definitely the bigger kid
Bigger kid?
growing up. Yeah. I wouldn't say maybe like,
Enough time has passed. You
Yeah,
can say,
I
hey,
guess
you know,
right. Yeah,
I was
a
a
fat
kid that
kid.
liked going to the
We can talk about our
buffets.
trauma.
Yeah.
It's
I
fine.
was a chubby kid growing up, and that's why I've been so hard on myself all these years. I'm like, man, I really just got to change
You
things.
weren't the chubby kid?
No, hell yeah, I was a chubby kid.
Oh, you were the
I'm
chubby
still
kid.
the chubby kid.
I got you.
And so for a lot of people, when you open up a gym, it's like, oh, damn, that's cool. Like,
Yeah.
you want to open a gym. So whose idea was it? Who was the one that pulled the other?
It was a collective idea, I feel.
Yeah, definitely mutual.
Yeah, it was something that I really wanted to do personally because I've been in the industry for years.
Okay, so
and
that's the question. Who came from like a fitness background?
me.
What did you used to do?
I have a bachelor's in kinesiology,
Okay.
and I just wanted to do something I knew with exercise, fitness, because that's what I was interested in. And so I was personal training for, I want to say like 6 years, just in like local commercial gyms. And it was good at first, but like anything else, it was really unsustainable.
So like, would it just be one-on-one, not the group setting
Yeah.
like the way this is?
I did both. I did one-on-ones for a really long time, and then I got to where I was doing both one-on-ones and group. And like anybody else that's in the industry will tell you, it's not sustainable long term.
When you say sustainable, just because you're constantly having to market and find new clients, or clients drop off, or it's just not the flow of people coming in is not as big?
It's really, you're really having to stretch yourself thin. I think at the time, like upwards of 60 plus clients that I was trying to
60?
Yes. And that's because, that's where I would make the biggest paycheck. I had all these clients I was taking care of.
And they come to you, or you go to them?
Since it was a commercial gym I was training out
Okay.
of, I kind of had a middleman that brought people to me.
Sweet.
So that was the nice part about it. But it was difficult having to, make plans for 60 plus people and do group workouts. And it just came to a point where
It's too much.
I was making good money, but I was not the best trainer that I probably could have been.
Because you're spread a little thin, right?
Right.
So when did y'all first? So like right now, how long has the gym been open? How many months officially? The
A
studio.
little over 5.
Yeah.
Okay, so when did the actual when was the first? Hey, I think we should open up a gym. When did that happen? Was that a year ago? 2 years ago?
It
year
was
and
a
a
little
half.
over, a year and a half in the making.
That's pretty fast.
Yeah.
So how long
Really?
did the whole? I feel like
Man,
it.
It feels like longer.
It
A
felt
long time?
like a long
Yeah.
time. Just the beginning process, man, was like a roller coaster. I mean,
It
there was a
was.
point in the
For anybody that's
beginning.
never opened up a franchise or a business, how long was that process of, I'm sure, applications, and they got to check everything and make sure everything's the way it's supposed to be, and backgrounds?
A
Forever?
Long.
a year.
A year?
A year.
A year.
But it did feel like longer.
Yeah, from start to finish, it was probably a little over a year.
Yeah.
And that was, boom, we had the idea. Okay, who do we contact? We got in touch with the right people. From there, it was really gathering the funds, finding, a bank where we could get a business loan. I mean, it was just one thing after another, and so many, things that we were not expecting to happen along the
That's
way.
any business, really.
Right.
Especially at the time y'all did it. I don't know. It's like right off the seat of a pandemic when gyms weren't even allowed to be open,
Right.
which is really crazy.
And now that's a good point that you said that, because I haven't thought about that until you just brought it up. But looking back, because now we have time to talk about it and stuff, like we try to open in the middle of pandemic, so
Yeah,
or a little
it-
after, but
It was tough.
it was
I mean,
crazy.
And
But
there
still,
were-
a good point when people were trying to get back into the regular swing of
Exactly.
things.
Yeah.
Because before it was like, because what company was it? Like when pandemic started, Peloton like went through the roof because everybody was doing at home
Yes.
workouts.
Yeah.
And then after a year or two, it's like, I don't want to. I can't do that at home anymore.
Right.
I can't. That was one of the big reasons why I joined, because I was like, I have this stuff at home, but I'm just not motivated enough to do it. So
Right.
during the process of going the application for the franchise and everything else, did you ever think like, let's just do Chick-fil-A? Like, let's just
Oh, trust me.
We actually did.
She pays
now
a
that
lot.
we got the cash,
We
let's
actually
just do
did.
Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
We did because I don't know how we came upon it, but we saw the, money that you had to put into that. It was so much less than
Well, yeah,
what we
I
were
saw
putting
there's
in.
so recently I think there was a Flower Bluff one that just got open
Yes.
or just opened up. So a while back, have you ever seen The Blind Side with Sandra Bullock?
Yes.
I remember my wife watched that. She's like, I want to do that. I'm like, you want to open up 37 or I don't know, they have like a million franchises, that lady. I was like, I don't think it's
Yeah.
that easy, especially if you
Right.
have that many.
No, that is, it's funny because that is definitely something that we thought about. Because at one point it was just very discouraging. I mean, everything
Yeah.
that we had to go through. And I remember actually sitting in our room on our bed, and we were just thinking, are we going to actually do this? Like, is this something we can do? What if it fails?
What part scared you the most?
I think it was just,
For me, I think, or maybe together, it was about not knowing what to do. Like, what was the next step? Okay, we got to this point. Let's open it up. Now what? Because
Yeah.
I mean, I come from a family that we're just workers,
Yeah.
and same for her. We don't know the route to take.
Were they a big help in that, saying, hey, these are the things you do beforehand? Because what I thought was really cool about y'all's studio is that there was people working out with y'all, and y'all were doing stuff before the brick and mortar store opened up.
right.
Right.
And so is that something they told y'all, like, hey, guys, put the word out there, start having these group sessions?
Yeah, I'm very thankful for all of the resources that they gave us. I mean, from start to finish, we had somebody to contact when we were thinking about opening our own. And then we had somebody to contact when it came time to be in like pre-open, like sales position. We had someone to contact when we were finally open. And I mean, I have
And do they help with the social media stuff too and all that?
In some aspects, yes.
Yeah.
some aspects.
And then it kind of just,
Not-
after it opens, they hand the reins over, like, hey.
Yeah,
Right.
not much.
Because y'all do really good with the social media stuff. I don't know.
you.
I don't know if
Yeah.
it's a kind of a collective effort or
Oh,
who's
yeah,
actually
no, I'm
behind
not
it.
gonna take
Like
it.
whenever I talk to y'all's account on Instagram, you can find them on Instagram and Facebook, by the way. Whenever I talk to them, I'm like, I don't know, who I'm talking to, just somebody there. I'm guessing it's you, or is it who is
It's
it?
me,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
No, it's me.
Oh, is it?
I'm just kidding. I wish I had that.
It is.
Kinda.
We do have help with like the marketing side of that.
Okay.
But the Instagram and things like that, all of the posts that you see regularly, that's just
Well, let's back up even further. So I want to hear everything. So right now we're in that time of the year. Obviously, people are really thinking about their fitness, their health. They're kind of just getting back to, hey, I'm done partying. I'm done eating. Like when I went back this week, because y'all were closed Saturday and Sunday, and I went back Monday, I was just like ready. I'm like, dude, I'm so tired of eating crap, and tamales and cookies and just everything you can think of. I was like, I'm having it all, but I know on Monday I'm going to start back. So this is that time of the year. And for anybody that's never been in y'all studio or heard about it, and they're like, what the hell is F45? Like, what is it? Explain to someone that has no idea. Someone that likes to work out, but they've never been to one.
Yeah, I would say it is a high intensity interval training studio. So you can expect circuit type workouts.
Say it in words I know.
Group training.
Okay.
I'll say that.
So not a one-on-one training, because I be honest,
Exactly.
when I first showed up and I was talking to y'all, I was like, hey, I'm gonna come check it out. I really thought it was a one-on-one. I was like, this is what I need, one-on-one. But in reality, I've had one-on-one before, and I prefer the group setting better.
Right.
Mostly because I really feel like I'm getting a workout and I'm not chit-chatting with somebody, just kind of talking. Like,
Right.
what's up? Blah, blah, blah.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. We like to say that it's almost one-on-one training in a group setting, because you do have two coaches there for each class. And of course, if you're doing something incorrectly, or they see that you can maybe push yourself a little further, they're going to give you
Yeah,
that
you
one-on-one
never feel like
push.
stuck in the corner, just like, am I doing this
No.
right? Like, there's always
Right.
somebody to help out, even if it's just the members that are there. And that's one thing I've enjoyed the most. You asked me recently, like, what I really like about y'all's gym. It's the people. Like, it's really nice to get in there and feel like I'm not doing it by myself. Because if I was doing it by myself, I'd be playing on my phone. I'd be changing my music. I'd be watching TV. Oh, I really want to watch this now.
Yeah.
And then by the time I know, it's like, oh, my time's up. I already worked out, but I really didn't. I really
Right.
didn't.
Right.
Yeah, the members are awesome. I mean, of all the hard work and, hoops that we had to jump through to get those doors open. I mean, it's been so worth it just to see. I mean, even you, because you've had amazing progress since you started going there.
I love it there.
But just seeing the members interact with each other the way
Sure.
that they do, to see and hear just how much they appreciate our coaches.
I've never had that at a gym, by the way. Like there's
No.
it's fun. It's a very
That's
different. It's
awesome.
very different. I've told people like, yeah, like I kind of know everybody there. There's the regulars, but when I used to go to gyms pretty regular, there's like the dudes, but really they just get a nod. Like, what's up?
Right,
Yeah.
or a
Yeah.
dab or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you really
Yeah.
don't know. What's up, King? Oh man, trying to get bigger than you. Like,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
nothing wrong with that setting. There's a lot of really great in shape dudes. Just certain people work out different, and
Yeah.
I guess I never knew I needed that. I needed accountability because when I go in there, I can't make myself do it.
Right.
Right.
And that's the whole goal behind it, you know, just making everybody that walks through those doors accountable. And that's what we hope they lean on us for, is just to let us put you through this 45 minutes, get you in and out, and you don't have to worry about anything. Just show up.
What's
Yeah.
been, since y'all been open, what's been the most gratifying, oh, I'm glad, feeling? Like, okay, well, you know, like you said, y'all are really worried when you're going through the process. But now that y'all been open for a while, half a year almost, what's been that one moment or that one time that something happened, you're like, oh, this is worth it?
For me, it's just anytime I see members post about how much they appreciate the studio, how much it's done for them personally. I mean, to me, that's the whole reason why we did it.
Yeah, same.
I wanted to, you know, obviously open it to stay in the industry I was in, and continue helping people in, you know, making that impact in their lives through health and fitness, but to be able to do it on a much bigger scale. And so to see that we are actually doing that, and that's the whole reason we set out to do it, that for me is worth it.
Right. From
Yeah.
the very beginning, we had the biggest goal was like community wise. And I think thus far we've accomplished that. Seeing just, you know, people that are starting from the very bottom to where they're at now
Yeah.
is just, you know, mind blowing.
Well, 'cause
And
it's
it
a-
encourages us daily.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know?
it's a different concept, and there's even times where I've gone out of town and I'm like, I can go to the hotel gym, but I really want to get this certain work because I know it's gonna be a certain way. So
Right.
do y'all have people from out of town that come in, or how does that work? It's because it's different franchises. So like, if you have a membership with y'all, you can't like just go drop in to another one, right?
Right. So since they're all, you know, individually owned, it's different, and everybody's policies are different because it can be set by the studio owner. Some people don't care if you're out of town, and like we've been to plenty F45s out of town before where they don't care. They just let us work
But
out
you are
for free.
like an owner. Just a little
We
bit.
don't say that
Yeah.
though.
Oh really?
Not really.
No, like just recently.
It's not like when you're a cop. You're like,
Yeah.
my brother's a cop.
So, you see my badge right here? No,
not
just
really.
recently we went to North Carolina, and I did a little hop in to a studio there, and I mean, I didn't tell you like, you know, I own a 45 or anything, but it came out eventually, and also again because I wanted to ask her some questions because they've been open a little longer than we have.
Yeah.
So, but they were
That's really cool. It's a big network of people.
Yes,
Yeah,
definitely.
it's all over the world.
If I can pause you on the North Carolina thing, we can get back to gym stuff in a bit. So when y'all went to North Carolina, what were y'all doing there? Because I saw y'all went to see Adam Sandler.
Yes.
But what were y'all
so
doing besides that?
We went to visit some friends that we have there, which actually we met these people at our studio.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Here?
Yeah,
Yes.
here.
Yeah. The guy was a flight student.
Yeah, in the Marines,
And,
and he got stationed in North Carolina.
Yeah.
Cool.
And we
So-
just hit it off with them. Super cool couple. And
Isn't that funny when you meet couples like that? Like, you ever been on
Yeah.
vacation, you meet couples, you're like, y'all are like us.
Yeah.
well, it was so cool. They just reminded us so much of ourselves,
Right.
and they were good people. And so when he finally got stationed over there, we wanted to go visit, and I was just on social media one day and I saw that Adam Sandler was going to be there. So we were like, okay, let's make it a thing.
When I saw y'all go, I think maybe a couple weeks before that, my sister got me tickets to go see him, and I saw y'all see him. I was like, those are my people. I was like, cool. It made me like y'all more.
my gosh.
And when I went and saw him in Vegas, it was just a trippy show. I was telling Joseph
Yeah.
about it. I'm not sure if I told you. Adam Sandler is one of those people that I really enjoy. I enjoy his business aspect, like the way he helps his friends and like the way he brings these guys like forever. Even on the tour, there was like
Yeah.
people that are friends of his that are on the tour with him. My wife doesn't like him so much. She always just associates it with like Billy Madison. I'm like, dude, no, he's great. Like, have you ever
That's my
seen?
favorite.
Have you ever seen this movie? You ever seen Switch? Have you ever seen Uncut
Yes.
Gems? Oh my god, Uncut
Yeah.
Gems.
Uncut Gems.
Hustle.
Hustle.
Oh,
Dude.
that was good.
Yeah, that was a really good movie. That made me cry. That one.
Dude,
Yeah.
I thought the whole
for
Queen
sure.
Latifah relationship was weird. I was like, that
Yeah, that was
That's
I think they
for
could have done
Luke,
it
for
a little
sure.
bit better.
Yeah. No, he's always been one of my favorites, and so we were like, we have to go see him. We have to do it.
Speaking of like your people, do you feel like sometimes being in the business you're in, there's a lot of different type of people that go in there, and so if you were to say like, hey, what kind of people should go to the gym? Is it everybody, or is it meatheads only?
No, it's funny.
Is there lunk alarms? There was one
It is
time I
not.
dropped the weights and I felt bad. I was like, is a lunk alarm gonna go off?
It is not. But if you break it, you buy it. No, it's not. I actually made a post about this earlier. It's, we have members, their ages range from 19 to, I think, maybe 65.
Who's that one guy? His son came in recently. Him and his wife go.
Pete and Kay.
P&K. Oh,
Yes.
super nice
Yes.
dude. Because I was trying to get my mom to go. She's like, I don't know. My mom loves Body Pump.
Right.
Recently, a gym closed, and she used to go to Body Pump there. Now she went somewhere else. I'm like, Mom, just come check it out. She's like, No, I want Body Pump. I'm like, Mom, this is like that, but I don't know if I can do some of those things. I'm like, Mom, there's a couple there that knows way older than you,
For sure.
and they've been killing it. And
Yeah.
so I know you enjoy it. So for all ages, I guess that's what I'm trying to get at. I want people to think
Yes.
that, hey, oh, it's only for those type of people. It's only for these type of fitness
It is
people. I think it's
not.
for kind of everybody at all levels. One thing that's
It
really
is.
nice is that, one, the trainers are great. Recently, my foot was kind of hurting, my ankle, and Marlo was like, hey, why don't you try things a little differently? And it's nice to kind of have those substitutions, especially not only for people that are hurt, but for people that maybe just aren't used to certain things. It's like, hey,
Right.
we're still going to get you a workout. Try something like this.
Right. Yeah, because ultimately we want everybody to be able to come into the studio no matter their fitness level and still have the same experience, still have a great workout. So, yeah, we have people of all ages, all fitness levels. I appreciate so much how knowledgeable our coaches are because, they have to be able to give a modification or alternative to anything that we do in there, so that anybody can come in and, whether you have a past or prior shoulder injury or knee injury or, ankle injury.
Or back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can, you
Everybody,
can still,
bro, when you get to your 30s, that's all it is, bro.
right there.
I'm already fighting it. Honestly.
Every time you wake up, you're just like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm just popping myself.
Yeah. So they're super knowledgeable in that because they have to be. We want everybody to be able to come in and have a great workout regardless.
One of the things that thinks is really cool, and I read about it, and I didn't notice it when I first started going, but when I started reading more, just because I was curious, and especially because Mark Wahlberg always promotes it, and that's what got me in there. I think whenever somebody texted me originally, whenever y'all started doing the promoting, like, hey, coming in, I'm like, is Mark Wahlberg going to be there?
Yeah.
I think I remember that text message.
And
I
was
remember
like,
it more like, is it going to make me look like Mark Wahlberg?
well, I just
Oh,
thought,
yeah,
well, I
maybe
just
that's
thought,
what it
damn,
was.
it's good enough for Mark Wahlberg, and the dude's a beast. I'm like, I guess it's
Right.
enough for me. And
Yeah.
so when I was reading about it, they're like, oh yeah, there's no mirrors. I'm like, oh, I didn't think about that. Most places you go to in gyms and fitness studios, everywhere, it's always mirrors. And is
Right.
that one of those things that when y'all heard that or y'all saw that, was that weird to y'all, or is it kind of feel normal now?
Not weird per se.
I've never
It's
been a mirror
different.
guy anyway.
Yeah.
Even when I did my own kind of workouts,
Yeah.
never really vibed with that. I don't mind it, but if it's not there, it's not gonna bother
Yeah.
me none.
You're not the guy up by the
The
by the racks.
No, definitely
Just
not.
flexing,
the
take your
mirror.
shirt off.
I can be.
Take
Yeah.
off.
Yeah, it's not,
Yeah.
but it's not my cup of tea.
It's kind of the no ego aspect of
Yeah.
the
Sure.
studio.
Yeah, that's kind of what it feels like.
Yeah.
So going back to just y'all have had a pretty crazy year. It seems like you said it's a year and a half, 5 months in. In that time, y'all have gotten married. That was awesome. You got Elvis over here in a jumpsuit. I loved it.
You like that?
I saw
right?
y'all's wedding. Where were y'all, in Fredericksburg, or where y'all get married?
Fredericksburg, yes.
How cool was that?
It was
Dude.
amazing.
Amazing,
It was
magical,
amazing.
for sure.
Is
I
it,
was-
did the day go by really, really fast, or was
Man,
it?
I
slow?
never
Too fast.
believed when people say like, the blink of an eye.
Yep.
I never believed it, but then when we went through it,
All
sitting
of
here
that
today, I was
planning
like, wow.
and everything, it was over like that.
Yeah.
The biggest tip people gave me were like, make sure you eat. I'm like, oh, what? And they're like, you're paying all this money for food. Make sure you eat. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, okay, cool. So yeah, me and my wife kind of just like snuck away and
Mm-hmm.
ate, which is really crazy because when me and my wife got married, she was 5 months pregnant.
Oh,
I don't know if I
wow.
ever told y'all that.
No,
so
no, I never.
we got engaged in October. Long story short, got engaged October 16th, and we were planning to get married in September of the following year. It's gonna be 9, 10, 11. I'm like, oh, that'd be easy to remember. And then in February we found out we were pregnant. It's like, oh shit. So there I
Wow.
was with the wedding book, and now all of a sudden I got the
Yep.
what to expect when you're expecting book. I'm like, I'm trying to wrap my head around like getting married, and now I gotta
Yeah.
get. I'm having a baby too.
Yep.
And so yeah, at the wedding we ended up doing like a gender cake, like with the wedding cake, and they cut
Oh,
it.
that's cool.
I was so convinced we were having a boy. And so whenever it became a girl, it was like, oh shit, okay. I didn't even want to cut the cake. I'm like, I know it's a boy. What are y'all worried about? We'll cut it later. And everybody's like, cut the cake. And so we cut it. It was a girl. We ended up having her October 16th. So kind of like the way y'all are talking. Like I had a pretty crazy whirlwind year when I got married and when we had our first kid, because it was all literally within a year. October 16th asked her to marry me. By October 16th the following year, I had a baby and we were married.
That's crazy.
Boom, 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 boom.
And then go back to school, and it was just like I feel like that's, for me, that feels like when life started. And so it's really, really crazy how things can happen so fast.
Yeah, I mean, last year was, it was rough. It was exciting, but it was rough. I mean, with all the good things that happened, there was definitely some bad also. And I can kind of agree with you on that. Like, I think this year is going to be the best one yet.
I think that's what's really scary about life, is that you feel things going really, really good, and you're like, wait a minute. It's going too good.
Yeah.
And it can really scare you, especially when things are going a certain way and you're like, do I deserve this? Like, is this right? Is there a pothole down the road that I can't see?
Yeah. I'm always that way.
Yeah, the good thing is, we're both the same way. So, like, we never get to that point where we're just, like, flowing and all the good.
No.
You know, we always think about the...
No, I'm not saying to live, like, pessimistic, but also... just appreciate the moment. That's why I'm saying, going back to the wedding, like you have to appreciate those moments, because they kind of come and go really, really fast. And you're like, damn, like when you take a vacation, it's like, damn, that vacation, just with all the planning for it. And you see the photos pop up. It's like, oh, damn, I forgot about that. Like it just went by so fast.
It's so true. And I feel like I'm a very worst case scenario kind of person. Definitely. And I will worry about every situation that could go wrong. Mm-hmm. And all of that energy I spend worrying about things like that, and literally it never happens that way. Like, never happens that way. But I mean,
they say worrying's when you're worrying or anxious about something, it's like worrying about it twice.
Yeah. Because
you're worrying about it now, and you're worrying about it then if it even actually happens.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's like, just chill.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is easier said than done.
I know.
I realize that.
That's definitely one of my big things for this
What's
year,
been a big surprise since you've owned this place? What's been a big surprise, not only in owning a gym, but just in a business aspect of like, oh, I didn't know that's the way that worked?
A lot.
I
feel like we have just, I mean, of course, like we didn't know, we'd never owned our own business. We didn't even know, where to begin, which is why we went the franchise route. And, this one in particular, it's one of the fastest growing fitness franchises. And I was like, that sounds good.
Because it's from Australia, mate.
Yeah, but also it's something that we both enjoy. So I was like, that would be perfect.
We're doing it anyways. Might as well figure it out.
But man, we've had to learn a lot of lessons really quickly and the hard way. Mm-hmm. But I'm glad we're learning them early on and not, 2 years in. But yeah, it's been
since I'm full of Pinterest quotes. They say you don't make mistakes make you.
Yeah,
that's true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I talked to you about this recently, a couple months back. I think that during 2020, when everyone went through all the pandemic stuff and stuff was shut down, like I said, gyms were shut down, bars were shut down, different things were shut down. Yeah. There's a lot of people that found another alternative to what they were doing as their day job or just their actual business when the business shut down. And so you've seen that the last couple of years. I think a lot more people are open to taking risk because now they know, oh, well, what if this happens? Well, what happens? What if the world shuts down? Like, what are you going to do? It's like, oh, damn, I don't know. I never thought about that. Well, now we've actually had a little taste of this is what happens when there's a lockdown for this many weeks or months. Mm-hmm. What are you going to do? You're like, oh, I guess I'm going to start my own business. And I think that it's nice that there's tools and the internet and social media and YouTube and TikTok. I've literally learned everything you think of from TikTok.
Oh, yeah.
And so it's nice to know that's there. And so for anybody that's like, I don't know what to do, it's like, well, damn, bro, just go on YouTube and type in how to drop ship or go on Etsy or eBay or there's so many different things that people are doing, including going the crazy route. Like, we're opening up a business.
Yeah.
That too. Yeah.
Yeah. So what's next after this?
Oh, gosh.
We talk about it all the time.
We do.
I never like to just sit in one spot, I like to keep moving, and because I feel like you get complacent and then everything just falls.
Sure.
So we've been talking. I'm not too sure yet.
I really want to focus on maximizing on what we have now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think 2022, getting it started and these first 5 or 6 months has been a lot of groundwork and setting the standard for how we want it to be ran and the expectation for our coaches, how we want them to present the studio and I want it to just grow. And so we're focused on
I would say grow
growth.
naturally too, though, because there's a lot of times people can go too fast, and you haven't nailed it down yet. I've seen that in different businesses, not just gyms, but just in different places. We're like, we're gonna open up 10,000 locations, and then all of a sudden it's like, well, how the hell are you managing 10,000 locations?
Right.
Yeah, I know. There's days I can barely manage this one. So, because we talk about it all the time. I mean, we know people in San Antonio who just, they opened their 6-1 recently. So
Sixth location.
So it's doable. I mean, it's very doable. Probably not 6 here, but a second one.
Awesome.
Down the road
In London? I'm kidding.
We've
It's closer
talked
to me.
about that, yeah.
Because Chris, who's my cousin, who I brought in, he works out with us there, and there's times where he's like, I'm just gonna grab my shake, or I'm gonna grab my drink real quick. I'm like, you're not on the road yet? He's like, bro, I live like 5 seconds away. He's like, you're on the road? I'm like, yeah, I basically live in like Petronilla. I gotta drive all the way down. And he's like, oh, damn, sucks for you. I was like, no, it doesn't. It's fine.
Yeah, we've definitely talked about that, potentially doing that. We've talked about doing a lot of like real estate investment in the future.
Cool. I know a guy.
Yeah, we do too. Because this gym is fun, and it's something that, of course, like we want to see a profit in the future. But it's definitely not passive income.
Well, I would say that too. Y'all are definitely there quite a bit.
Right.
Where some people open a business and go, all right, go. And in any business, it can't go like that, especially at first. You have to be very, very involved. It's a night and day kind of thing.
I feel like I'm just not the type of person to not have a hand in it at all.
Definitely not.
Well, I think that shows your work ethic, and it wasn't handed to y'all. Some people are handed businesses, and they just flush it down the toilet.
Yeah.
Right.
No.
Yeah, that was, my dad had a lot to do with us being able to get where we are today. And, unfortunately, he didn't get to see it open, which was rough. But, to me, that's just something that even on like the hardest days, I can't ever give up or, let it fail, because it's so much more to us than just a fitness studio. There's so much love that went into it. There's, just the story behind it, and how it manifested itself. And now all the people that it's impacted. I mean, it can't fail.
Yeah. I'd be pretty pissed if y'all shut down.
No, never that.
Chris, we're going to start F45. 44-minute work.
Never that. But yeah, it's tough. I mean, there's days where like I feel like I don't even leave, but I wouldn't want to be.
It's funny. Chris just realized who she was. He's like, "Who's that girl that's up front? Is that a secretary?" I go, "No, bro, that's the owner." He's like, "Oh," he's like, "That's Joseph." I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "Oh, I didn't know that."
That's funny.
Yeah, I'm definitely not in there like got the owner hat on. Like I don't.
Badge.
Right.
Badge, right.
I'm just in there helping out, because I want to be involved.
If you were given anybody, are y'all from Corpus, by the way? Where
Yes.
are you from?
Yeah.
Where'd y'all go to school?
I went to King.
I went to Cal Allen.
Okay, cool. What year did you graduate? Because you're like a baby.
2010.
Oh, damn. What year did you graduate, Jess?
Yeah.
My wife went to
12.
Cal Allen. That's what I was asking.
Oh, okay. Cool.
12?
Yeah.
Yep.
2012?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's when I started real estate. Yeah, right around when I started real estate. That's cool. So you are from Corpus. So for anybody listening that's in Corpus, if you were to give any advice on starting their own business, not necessarily the gym, but just in general, what would be like one tip? It's like, hey, next time I wish I would have known this. Or if anybody's starting a business, think about this first.
Honestly, I think we were very fortunate enough to already have the connections that we had. But in any business that you're trying to open, it's just super helpful to have a network of people. We were fortunate enough to know, a real estate agent who helped us find the place, an insurance agent who helped us insure the place.
All little things people don't think about.
Dude,
right.
Yes.
And so, that's why that whole process was a little easier for us, because we had the right people in our corner. And so it's really just building a team.
I would say, you kind of said it a second ago, I would say community is a big part. If you're opening up a small business in a community, you have to be part of the community.
Right.
If you're not part of the community, you're not part of the community,
Yeah.
and they're not going to support you. There's a lot of people that have local businesses where they just don't understand that part of it,
Yeah.
where you have to be very involved, and not just with your own self and your own business, but with the community where people see you. I mentioned a while ago, we had Claudia Mastagashi here earlier from Home Source. She does a ton of stuff for the community, like literally holding events and galas and different events to where it has nothing to do with real estate. It's just part of the community and giving
Yeah.
back. And that's really the key to success. If you see people here locally that have been around for a long time, it's because they're part of the community and they just do things. And you're like, why do they do that? Like Thomas Henry, for example, he's been around forever and he's huge. And from the very beginning, before he was who he was now, he was handing out turkeys or doing this kind of organizations and like fundraisers, stuff like that. That's just a big part of it that people don't get.
Yeah, I do really like the community aspect of our studio, and there's actually one Saturday workout that we hold. We hold it like 5 times a year. It's called Heroes Hollywood,
Okay.
and so that is the company's way of getting every studio to pick a charity or cause that they want to donate to.
And what's it called?
So Heroes Hollywood.
When's that coming up?
We just had one.
Yeah,
Is that what that
Yeah.
was?
2 weeks ago, yeah.
Where they had like the shops and oh yeah,
Yes.
I was out of town. That was when I went to see Adam Sandler. That's
Yes,
right.
yes.
Because I
yeah.
would have been there on Saturdays.
Yeah.
They do hour-long classes and they have DJs, which is just bumping.
Insane.
bumping. Yeah, it's fun.
Insane. It's a whole vibe. But
And
yeah.
actually, not to backtrack, but that's actually where we kind of found F45 on a Saturday.
Yeah.
Out of town.
Oh really?
DJ, popping it
Where
off.
Where were y'all at?
Dope. San Antonio?
Yeah, San Antonio.
Which location? Because I've been to the Bandera and I've been to Dominion.
I think the first one we ever went to was Deerfield.
I don't know what
I
that is.
think that was, yeah. 'cause
What's
it was brand
Deerfield?
new.
I think that one is in the Stone Oak area.
Oh okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fairly new when we got there, but it's been open for a while now. I
Yeah.
think.
So those workouts, like that's something that we have to hold as studios. So I mean, F45, it does, force us even to be involved in things like that. And so we get to hold those 5 times a year, and they're Saturday workouts. They're fully donation based. So, I mean, people who are not even members can come as long as they're, donating. And we get to pick the charity or cause that we want to donate to. So
That's very cool.
It's really cool. Yeah.
So is there another one coming up for a different organization or just that one?
I don't know when our next one's coming up. It'll probably be a few months from now.
Probably in the next phase, probably.
Yeah. The first one we ever did, we ended up donating over $600 to Foster Angels of South Texas.
Oh yeah. Did y'all meet Hillary? Is that Hillary? I think somebody else.
I don't think it was
Hillary.
Hillary. But that was our first one, and it was a great turnout. This last one we donated to Wings of South Texas, and our coach Manny, he works really closely with them.
I've seen him do that. He's been doing all the different half marathons.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not sure how long he's been a part of it, but I know he's on the board.
That's
And
cool.
so he's
Yeah.
very active with it. And we actually set up at a race the last time and got to meet all of the runners and
Yeah.
everybody. And that was real cool.
It's crazy how much people are able to do. One, life is hard by itself.
Right.
And then you throw in relationships, then you throw in businesses, then you throw in kids,
Mm-hmm.
and then you throw in all these other things going on. It's like I'm so exhausted. Like right now, we're just so happy because like the kids are going back to school. We can
Yeah.
kind of get back to like a regular schedule. Not that I don't enjoy them being
Right.
home and us doing stuff, but it throws off my schedule, it throws off work, throws off my diet, throws off just my normal like, why am I waking up at 10? Like this
Yeah.
is sickening. Like I can't do this. Like I got to go back to
Yeah.
regular schedule.
Yeah.
And so you have to have that kind of routine. So our routine, like we've been going, this week we've gone every single day. It used to be Tuesday, Thursday. How do y'all's plans work? Because for people who don't know, is it just like a show up whenever you want, or is it a couple times during the week?
So, I mean, all of our memberships really are dependent on how often you want to work
Mm-hmm.
out with us. Of course, if you haven't checked us out yet, we offer a free 7-day trial, so you can come
It's awesome.
try it out.
I've definitely seen some people that have taken advantage of that.
Oh, yeah.
And then stuck around.
Yeah.
Which is really cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's highly unlikely they do all 7, but if they're getting in there for at least 3 or 4, they enjoy it, and I always get the greatest feedback, just how welcoming our coaches are, how much fun it is, how it's so different because it pushes them, challenges them. So I mean,
Well, yeah, you go to some gyms, you get a nod from everybody.
right.
Yeah.
Get away.
And it's I really enjoy it because it's for those people that maybe they want to get in shape, but they don't know where to start, or they're the kind of person that goes into a gym but they don't know what to do, and so they do 3 exercises and then they are on the treadmill and then they
forget
leave.
it.
Yeah. So it's I love the accountability of it. Like really, like you said, the hardest part is just showing up.
Yeah.
So going back to when you're little and you're chubby, tell me about that.
Oh man, I was living life. Man,
Why you gotta bring that up?
Because I mean, I like to know where people came from and like
Yeah.
how it got to somewhere. I
Yeah.
mean, I think I told you this one time. I still remember being in 6th grade. I was living in San Antonio and getting on the bus, and we had just moved there from here. So when I was little, we moved from here to San Antonio, and we were there from 6th grade to like almost senior year.
Mm-hmm.
And when I moved over there, it was kind of a lot of me and my sister on our own, just doing our own thing because my parents were trying to restart their business and everything. They were doing stuff. It was before social media, so you had to like really get out there and grind.
Really hustle.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
All the time. My dad was a hairstylist, and he shut down a salon here and then opened up another one over there. So yeah, he did it without
Wow.
texts and
Wow.
emails and all that stuff, just grinding. So anyways, the reason I bring that up is we were alone a lot. So me and my sister were always just grubbing. Like we'd get home and just go to Sonic, whatever. And I remember being on the bus this one time, and this kid, I was sitting down, this kid came up. And just to show you like how words hurt people and how people have these feelings that you don't know where they come from. It's
Right.
like most people do. They know. I was 6th grade. Guy came over. He's like, "Get out of my chair, fat ass." And I was like,
Oh no.
"Am I fat?" I didn't know I was
You're
fat.
like, wait, what?
I had no idea. I thought I was just chilling, man. I thought it was okay. But there's little moments like that where you grow up. You're like, oh, I am the kid that goes in the pool with his T-shirt, and it's a hard thing. Like I've gained so much confidence in the last 6 months, not only while doing 75 hard, but also kind of just going back in there. And it's amazing how much different you feel. So was there a moment like that where you had when you were little?
Not that I can remember. I mean, to be honest, I don't even know how I got chunky. I mean, I wasn't chunky when I was little. I was actually pretty skinny, as I saw in the pictures. You know, I don't remember really much, but I don't know. I had a big family, a lot of cousins. We go over, you know,
Just eat, dude.
yeah, just
That's
have
just
fun,
Mexican.
sleep. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, my mom was like, "You're not gonna get off the table if you don't finish that plate."
Oh, yeah.
And now I'm like, I wish I never finished that plate.
Dude,
you know,
there's
what I mean?
times where the kids will leave food, and I feel bad, but I'm like, I'm not gonna tell them because I remember that too. It's like you need all that. It's like,
Yeah,
what?
it's the Mexican in us, you know.
Okay.
I mean, it's a thing, you know.
But when you're little, like
Yeah.
I think nowadays things are different because when you go to when you go to the stores, when you go to restaurants, and when you go to fast food, what's on the menu right next to the item, right next to the price? What's there?
The calories.
The calories. That
Oh,
never
yeah.
used to be there.
Right.
You had
True.
no idea how many calories in a hot and ready. I had no idea how many calories were in the chicken crispers from Chili's.
Yeah.
I was like, which RIP, they went away.
I know.
I never knew all that. And so now it's such a thing that you see in the media and you see when you go out. It's right there on the menu. You're like,
Yep.
oh, shit. When we were little, it's like, no, just eat.
Yeah.
What's a calorie? Like, I don't know.
Right.
Ignorance
Either
is
hungry,
bliss.
either hungry or not hungry. But then again, I think a lot of people just did different stuff.
Yes. Yeah,
That's scary. What was that?
that was weird.
You're bringing Ghost?
No.
I hope not.
What was
You got
it?
one in here?
You didn't hear that? Oh, okay. Anyways,
I heard it.
What are you drinking in there?
it's just water, man.
That's funny.
It's just water. Do y'all believe in ghosts? Sorry, while we're talking about it. The last guest we had, by the way, was a ghost guy.
Really?
Really?
It's Dark Side Paranormal, and they do ghost.
That's interesting.
So they were telling about all these different ghost stories where they go to like old hospitals and old vacant buildings, and they spend the night there. It's like a team of 5 dudes. I was like, really? There's no way you would not see a ghost. It's just a bunch of dudes messing with each other. He's like, all the time.
Yeah, that
I could never.
I definitely believe in spirits.
Yeah?
I mean, I've never witnessed anything myself that I know
No.
of, but my stepdad's encountered some stuff. My grandma.
Let's hear it.
I think like
Tell us
2
more.
houses.
Oh, hold on. So y'all didn't hear that sound a while ago.
I did.
I
How come
didn't.
only we heard it? What did it sound like? It was like a...
It was just like something moved something. I heard it.
I heard
Oh.
it too. Okay, so what happened to your snap?
No,
I was
she
gonna ignore it. I was like, oh.
2 houses ago, off of Everhart in Saratoga somewhere. She lived in this house, and her husband was watching TV one day, and TV kept on turning off, and a few times kept on turning off. He turned it back on, turned it back, and then finally it turned off, and he saw a shadow in the back behind him.
Nope.
Well, someone had actually passed away in that house previously.
And they knew that prior to buying it? or
I'm not
after?
too sure. I think they knew it. I want to say they knew, but it's just one of those things. And
Do they have to disclose that? Realtors, do they
Uh,
disclose that
so
info?
there's a thing called a Ghostbuster law. If you can prove that there's ghosts, then you have to disclose it. So
Okay.
whenever you sell a house, there's a thing called a seller's disclosure. The seller's disclosure is, hey, I can disclose these things. Like my foundation's bad, I have a report on it. My plumbing's bad, I have a report on it. I got termites, etc. Anything you can provide a report for. But if you say, hey, I have a ghost, they're like, where's the report? So you don't have to disclose it, no.
Okay.
You do have to
Nice.
disclose if someone died violently there, like there's a crime committed, but not naturally.
Not naturally.
Goodness.
So I wouldn't know. I'm not too sure, but it definitely made them bounce out of there. So they
I
sold
think
it.
I do the same.
Yeah, they sold it, and good thing they didn't follow whoever it was there. They didn't move. So it's interesting.
Maybe it's here. So this summer, what can we expect this summer from the gym? Anything crazy going on? Anything new? Anything going to happen? Because I'm kind of dreading doing the summer workouts because I've been used to going where it's a little cooler. There's
Yeah.
times where it gets a little hot in there. I'll step outside. But
Yeah.
during the summer, I'm like, dude, am I going to make it?
Man, at least now we have AC. I mean, because last summer we didn't have our studio built, and so we were doing all those outdoor workouts. And I mean,
Are y'all ever going to do that again?
I would love to.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna have.
I think it'd be kind of cool,
once a
like
month.
during the summer. Yeah, I would say like, hey, we're
Yeah.
gonna have an open session and kind of just do it like Terry Crews and Bridesmaids and just have
Yeah.
everybody come out. It's only $8.
Yeah, just pay.
Yeah, everybody loved it.
It was fun. I mean, it was
Yeah.
different. Of course, you have to take a lot more into account, like the weather and things like that. But we partnered up with a lot of like local breweries.
Yeah, y'all did
and
stuff at Bus, the breweries. That's
Yeah.
really cool, and that makes it nice
was
because you
fun.
get people that normally are just like, I'm not going to the gym, and they see it like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
And
it
some
was
people
fun.
never even been to these places. Half of them, I think, maybe there's like 50-50 where some of them knew about this place or
Yeah.
some of them didn't.
I think a lot of people, especially the last couple of years, they kind of stick to their own little circles.
Definitely.
Like
yeah.
before you open up this gym, and it seems like it's probably a big part of y'all's life. What was y'all's usually kind of week like? Do y'all go out a lot, drink a lot?
We were familiar with the breweries.
Brews? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we definitely like spent time out, and
Well, how long y'all been together?
we have been together for 7 years.
That's right.
We
You
got
get all
married.
excited. Why do you get all excited?
We got married on our 7-year anniversary.
Oh, very cool.
So now we don't have to remember a different day.
What was the anniversary?
What day?
What day or what date?
August 27th.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
But the gym opened up like right before that, right? Didn't it
It-
open up August?
It
It did.
opened in July.
Yeah.
Where'd y'all meet? A brewery?
Where did me and her meet at? We actually met at the old Recess.
Yeah.
Right? That's what it was called?
Recess?
Yeah, which is now
Recess.
the library
Yeah.
off of Alameda.
Yeah.
Was it a bar? I'm guessing it's a bar.
Yeah,
Wait,
it's a-
hold on. Recess.
Yes.
Yeah.
Where's it at?
So right there where Oso golf course is,
Uh-huh.
right across the street.
What was it before it was recess?
Oh, okay. Like by Coffee Ways.
Yeah,
Yes.
literally right there. Yeah, right next door.
Oh, I never heard of that.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Weird. I met my wife in a bar too.
Really?
Really?
Yeah.
Here in town?
So she was moving, and she let go of her job, and she let go of her apartment, and she was celebrating downtown. It was her birthday. It was September, and I went downtown. I was on a date, and I happened to kind of date, not really.
Yeah.
It's like a hangout.
That's what she said.
She was on a date too.
Well,
It was not.
Hold
a
on,
date.
a
we'll
second.
let you continue.
No, go ahead.
Let's-
Pause. Everybody's heard my story.
No.
So you on a date,
It was not a date.
and you were just eyeballing Joseph?
It
It's
was
like-
it was a forced interaction. Is what it
forced
was.
interaction.
That's what mine was.
Yeah.
Mine was a forced interaction. It was like, oh, I guess you can ride with us.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
That's exactly what it was.
And then?
Well, I mean, it was just he wanted to go to recess, and the only reason I agreed was because we were meeting a lot of our mutual friends there. So I was like, okay, I don't have to be around you. So we went, and I was about to leave because I was a little bored, and I saw him walk up to the bar, and I kind of just tried to get his attention, and then it just turned into him thinking like, why is this girl staring at me?
Well, you didn't get the signs?
No, I definitely not. I didn't get
That's
the
how he
sign.
tells the story. He's
That's a
like,
smart guy.
He's like, did I have something in my teeth or what?
Yeah,
Why
I
is
was
she
like,
staring at me?
"So what's
Totally
going
playing it
on?"
dumb.
I said, "Who?"
Yeah.
I was with a couple buddies. I was like, "Who is this? Like, why?
Ew.
Do y'all know her?"
Yeah, I was like,
Like,
okay, rude.
so-
But he went and sat back down at a table, and I actually knew the people he was with, so I just had to shoot a little message.
So y'all didn't know each other before that?
No.
Oh, so you hit him up?
I
Damn, bro, you got
did.
W Riz. At least that's what my daughter would say. W Riz. Know what that means? So Riz is like game, I guess. And so she's always like, oh, L Riz, L Riz. I'm like, what's L Riz? She's like, oh, he's got no game. She's
And
like,
W is.
W Riz, you got game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That's what the
you got
kids
W
say
Riz.
these days.
Yeah,
love
I hear
it.
a
Learned
lot
something
of
new
it.
today.
Trust me, my little girl's 10 going on 21. Like for
gosh.
real,
Man.
it's crazy. Getting her nails done, straightening her hair in the morning. I'm like, what fifth grader straightens her hair? She's
Yeah.
getting herself ready. She's got like, she walks out the house. I'm like, what is that? She's
my
like, oh, it's Ariana Grande. I'm like, that's crazy. That's really crazy.
So she's your oldest. You have.
I have
oldest
one.
daughter?
Wait, she's 11. Sorry, she's 11. I have a little girl, she's 11, and then Gino is 8, and he's just super chill, loves YouTube, Godzilla, and just kind of doing his own thing. He edits videos. He's really crazy.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Taking after his dad.
Yeah, I guess. I'm like,
That's
hey, make
cool.
me this video real quick. I had him edit me stuff, and he just like does it in the car. I'm like, how the hell did you do that?
That's
cool,
funny.
that's cool.
That's awesome.
So 7 years ago you met, but you didn't know each other before that?
No.
Did you ever think you'd get to this point now where y'all are?
No.
Definitely not.
I think 7 years in Corpus is a long time.
Yeah.
For a lot of people that
long
haven't been
time.
together that long, I think 7 years, when you get to that point, or even 10 years, you're like, damn, it's been together forever. Because me and my wife have been together 13, going on 14.
Wow.
And so it's one of those like, it's almost like, it's not only just a relationship, it's a friendship too, where you know each other so well that you kind of pick at each other and you do
Oh yeah,
things.
definitely.
It's definitely there.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
literally call her Chili Dog when she doesn't want to show up. Like this morning, that's me and Chris's nickname for her when she doesn't want to show up to the gym. I'm like, hey, come on, Chili Dog, and we call her that because she loves Winter Central. So I'm like, Chili Dog, is Chili Dog coming? I'm like, she's coming, bro. I got her up. I got her up. I got her up.
no.
Y'all ever like rag on each other?
But, 100%.
all the time.
Yeah.
I think you have to, right? Like when people when I see couples and they don't make fun of each other, I'm like, are y'all a real couple? Because if you
It's-
can't make fun of each other, then
Yeah,
it's not
no.
real.
It's a term of endearment. It's not even, well, sometimes it's not, but
Well, I think it's also sometimes you have terms that are just like not terms,
Yeah.
but stories, and it's like, hey, I know this person. No one else knows this.
right.
Right.
I
Like
know this.
if anybody else said like something to him like
what the
that,
fuck?
I'd be like, yeah, I'd be like, don't talk to him like that.
Yeah,
And,
she definitely
vice
would.
versa. But I mean, we've just in those 7 years, I mean, it feels like longer. Like we've just been through so much.
Do you think
together.
y'all's relationship is what helped start the business? Because I've seen people start businesses that are in relationships and maybe the relationship wasn't that strong. It's kind of like having a
Yeah.
baby or buying a house. Like we have a lot of people that buy houses to help the relationship, and it does not help the relationship. And if anything, and I'm sure y'all have seen this, it brought on more stress than you already had
Yeah.
that you didn't even know about. It's like, we did this to each other.
Yeah,
exactly.
I mean, we definitely knew it was going to be stressful, which it has been.
But worth it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, there's definitely days, where it tests us both. It really does. But, I mean, we get through it together.
Yeah.
I think if there's anything that, I mean, like you mentioned a while ago, you've affected a lot of people's lives, and you'll continue to affect a lot of people's lives. It's changed my life, and this year has been, I say this year, 2022 was a very hard year for me, just business-wise. The market took a shift, and we had to work harder, and I was buying a new house, and I've been wearing this house for like 2 years, and it was like so distracting. Anybody on my team, you'll see, even Jessica's very close to me, and she works side by side where she's like, that's all we're talking about is the house.
Yeah.
And it's finally over, and so it's nice to go into this new year, new goals, new opportunities, and that's kind of what life is all about, is just continue to take those opportunities.
Yep.
Yeah. Congratulations, by the way. It's bad from the pictures. It looks beautiful.
It's
Beautiful.
you can take
Yeah.
it, take payment.
Take the payment.
I don't know what to say in those situations.
I
What's
know.
appropriate? Like I don't know.
Right?
It's like
Thank
cool,
you.
thanks.
Yeah, I know. No, congratulations.
Yeah.
It's you all know what it is. It's just when you see something and it's out there and you want it, and then you finally get it, and then it's like, now what? Oh shit, what's next?
Yep.
So that's kind of where I'm at.
So like last year, how did you get to that point? Did you where you felt like was life just catching up and you're just so busy where you kind of like lost track?
I feel like it's been busy for the last 10 years.
Really?
Ever since I've started real estate.
Yeah.
When I started real estate, every year has continued to go bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. A lot of it because I kept putting the carrot further out, and I kept putting it further out, and we kept having stupid goals and be like, hey, Jess, we're going to sell this many houses this year. It's like, all right. And then we did it. And
Yeah.
then I was like, oh, shit. Next year we're going to sell this many. And that's kind of just the way we've always done it. It's the way we continue to do it to keep us going.
That's awesome.
And it's you and your wife. She sells houses as well.
No, so my wife works in real estate, but she's a real estate appraiser. So real estate appraiser is more on the financial side. On my side, this office that you're in right now, this is Mirabal Montalvo Associates. So we're all realtors here and brokers, and we do residential, commercial investments, different stuff like that. So people that work with me, we all do residential stuff. Jessica kind of is like the manager of everything, including this. She's also production manager.
Very cool.
And so she helps us with quite a bit of stuff. And like you've seen, to run a business, it's really hard to do it by yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that can do it, and that's their whole life, and that's all they do. I'm definitely one of those people where I know I need help. There's certain things, and if there's one last thing I would say is like, y'all have seen it. You need that help, and you have to find that good help, and you have to continue to find that good help to grow and grow and grow and scale. Because if not, you stay put, and it just kind of gets hard to keep going. It's like, what are we doing? We're just
Right.
spinning our wheels here.
100%. If it was just us two, we wouldn't be where we are right now.
You'd kill each other.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that too. Yeah, I mean,
sure.
no, I'm thankful we have a fantastic support system. Our members are amazing. And we have some amazing coaches that have really helped to grow the business and the studio to be what it is today.
For sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because without them, I mean, they're like the front line.
Yeah.
I mean, you rarely see us. I mean,
Well,
but I mean, you go in there every day, and it's always the coaches, you know, that
Yeah.
you talk to.
Oh, killing it.
And
Yeah.
so without them, I mean, we definitely wouldn't be where we're
Well,
at today.
the last thing I'll say is like, one, I'm really glad I discovered y'all last year. Going into the studio for the very first time was very, very intimidating for me.
Yeah.
It had been a while since I've had a trainer. I didn't know what to expect. So for anybody else that's kind of trying to switch stuff up, really kind of to get a jump start to your goals and your year and your health, you walk in and it was Marlo. She said hi, and I was like, hey, what's up? She's got her little iPad. You're like, what the hell's going on here? What are you going to do to me? And you're like, you're taking pictures of me? What are you doing?
yeah.
And so you see all the equipment out there, and it can be probably pretty intimidating for a lot of people.
Yeah.
After I went through the workout, I was like, oh, well, that was actually easier than I thought because it was already set up for me. Compared to going in and you don't know anything and you're just like, I'm gonna look at my phone for a workout real quick or a YouTube video or what's that guy doing? I'm gonna try that. I've literally been that in the gym back in the day.
Yeah.
I would see a real jack dude. I'm like, all right, so he's doing this lift, like he's doing triceps. Like, okay, cool. I'm gonna try that out. Or you see other people like, I can't fucking do that. I don't know what he's doing.
Yeah.
But y'all make it to where people walk in and it's very welcoming and the people are there and just take your time with it. Like you said it a while ago, like everyone's at their own pace. Don't feel like what that person's doing is the pace you have to do it or the weight you have to do it or anything like that. Everyone's kind of got their own journey in there.
Yep.
And that's why y'all need more lighter weights for Chris because when he comes in, he's always complaining that the weights are too heavy. Shots fired.
That's funny. I'll be sure to let Marlo know that we need some twos.
Let him know. My wife has some of those little color ones we got at Walmart. We can bring them in.
They exist. They're real.
Well, guys, thank y'all for coming in. I do appreciate y'all. I'm glad I finally got y'all in here. I appreciate y'all so much. And the people that are coming in here are people that I appreciate in my life and also people that I think others need to hear about and others need to know. So that way they're like, oh, cool, that really makes sense. And if you can get to know people like y'all and the business behind it, it just makes it more community based. It's like, oh, cool, I know those people. Yeah, I heard that. And they're really nice and they really mean what they say.
Well,
so,
we appreciate you.
Yeah, we appreciate you.
Of course. So this is Gino's table. I'm going to let y'all find a marker. This blue one comes out really good. I need y'all to sign the table. So I believe everybody bring something to the table. Y'all definitely do. So you got blue. You got a red. Hold on, I got a red. Our silver shows up really good. And so does this. No, that one's kind of not good. There we go. Good. Here we go. Perfect. Sign the table. We're good to go. Appreciate you guys.
Appreciate you.
It was a pleasure.
I'm ready to see your next 60 pounds lost.
Oh, dude. No, I think maybe 20.
How's it going so far?
Day 5.
Day 5?
Yep.
Do you have
Doing
any
good.
cravings?
No.
No? Dude,
I
I
feel
have
great.
cravings at the end of the day.
No, I feel really good.
That's good.
It's like, I guess because I know what to expect. I'm like, no.
Right,
You'll be good. You'll be fine.
That's
Awesome. She read a little note. What'd you write?
I did.
Thank you, guys.
Yep.